For the first task in these structured tasks, you have got to create a structure diagram to show how all the slides in the presentation will link together. First thing that I've done, as you can see, is listed each of the slides. I've taken this straight from the question. So menu slide, the senior instructors slide, one slide for each of the senior instructors, John Senior, Ben Dean, Samina Kawa, the car slide, the contact slide and the help slide. Now what we've got to do is start looking at how we are going to link each of these slides together. So if we read through the question, first of all it tells us that every slide will have a help button to link to a help page. So let's insert an arrow from every slide to the help slide. So we're going to have an arrow from the menu slide to the help slide, and then another one from the senior instructor slide to the help slide. Now I'm using the shift key here to help line up my arrows as I draw them. Okay, every single slide goes to the help slide, as we can see. At the moment I'm only putting single-headed arrows on these because we don't know yet, without reading any further, whether any of these slides need to go, whether the help slide needs to go back to the other slides. We're also told that every slide will include a menu button to return to the menu. Okay, so every slide is going to have a button that will return to the menu. So let's do that. We've got our senior instructors, Samina Kawa, John Senior. Every single slide, as you can see, is going to go back to the menu. Now we don't know at this stage, okay, whether we need double-headed arrows, because we are just told that the slides go back to the menu. You might find this quicker to do on paper. It's completely up to you because the question doesn't specify it's got to be able to be done on paper. The next thing about navigation that we can read in the instructions is it says the user must only be able to use buttons and hyperlinks to navigate through the presentation. This means that the presentation cannot go from one slide to the next just by clicking on the mouse button. So we do not need an arrow between each slide from, for example, menu to senior instructors, Samina Kawa to John Senior. That's not necessary. Right, on the menu slide, okay, we're going to have a button to link to each of the other slides except senior instructors. Right, so the menu, okay, will link to each of the other slides except for senior instructor details. So if we go through these, okay, we'll look at the ones that are going to go from the menu. So we're going to have that one, then we'll have cars, then we'll have contact, and we'll have help. All of these are going to be double-headed arrows. So let's change those arrows to be double-headed because they go in both directions. Now at this point, you can see here that I've doubled up on my help slide and menu slide, so I'm just going to remove this one that I've doubled up on because it's not necessary to have it there twice. The menu slide does not need to include the menu button, so we're not going to have a link that goes from the menu to the menu. Clicking on a photograph on the senior instructor slide will take the user to another screen to give details about the instructor. So that means that we need a link from the senior instructor slide to each of the photographs. So we'll put those links in. And I'm using the shift key just to help line up my arrows. If we look at the senior instructor details slides, they will also have a button that returns to the instructor's slide. Okay, so each of these will be double-headed arrows because they also return to the instructor's slide. So we'll change that arrow here to be a double-headed arrow. Let's have a look at what else is going to happen. So we'll scroll down. There's nothing here about navigation until we get down to the help slide. A return button that will return to the previous slide viewed. That means that every single help slide, or every single slide, can be returned to from the help slide, depending on whether that slide was used to get to it. So all of these that go to the help slide can also come back. There we go, that is that completed. What you now need to do is read through everything again and see whether everything is correct. We have a look at this and we take Samina Kara as an example. We can see Samina Kara will have a button that goes to the help slide. There will also be a button that goes to the menu, and there will also be a button that goes to senior instructors. So we can see there will be 3 buttons on Samina Kara's slide. So when we actually produce the presentation, we'll need to check that our presentation matches this, and it may be that we spot something that we need to change at a later stage. Although what I'm going to tell you is that this is actually the correct way of doing it.